Alright, our next topic is Akọtọ ede Yoruba, that is Yoruba Orthography. Orthography has to do with the correct spelling of a language. Yoruba became a written document in 1860. But before then, we did not have our own agreed mode of spelling. And therefore, the Yoruba language faced the following problems. These problems or challenges came as a result of not having our own orthography, our own agreed method of writing words. The first challenge was what symbol will represent what sound. Àmì tí wọ́n lè máa lò fún ìró èdè Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan. What symbol can we use to represent a particular sound? Number 2 is how does one ensure consistency and uniformity in the spelling employed by different writers? In this case, different writers use different methods. So it was a challenge because we don't have an agreed method of writing. It's a challenge that each writer decide to use his own spelling. We don't have uniformity and consistency in our spelling. Number 3 is there were arguments in the use of diacritics such as dots. Should one write E or O to represent A or O? So there was an argument in that case. Okay. Next is the use of diagrams such as KP to represent P, BH to represent B, NG to represent G. Okay, it was a challenge. Next is representation of tone and nasalization. Àmì tí a lè máa lò fún ohùn àti ìránmúpè, because Yoruba is a tonal language. We do not know what symbol we can use to represent each, nasalization, right, and tone. The last one is the use of double consonants. The use of double consonants was a challenge. Okay, therefore, we had about 2 conferences to tackle this problem. So we want to look at the 2 conferences and the outcome of those conferences. First, we want to start with Ìpàdé 1875 lórí Akọtọ ede Yoruba, that is the conference of 1875 on Yoruba Orthography. Now this conference came up at CMS Itafaji, Èkó, at the CMS Mission House, St. Peter's, Faji, Lagos, in January 28th and 29th, 1875. The participants in that conference are about 25. They were about 25. On your mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dọ́gbọ̀n wọ́n wà níbi ìpàdé náà. So the chairman was Samuel Ajayi Crowther. The vice chairman was Adolphus Mann, that is a German. And his general secretary was Reverend J.B. Wood, who was an English man, who was the secretary of that conference. So in a nutshell, I want to look at the outcome of that conference of 1875. That's àbájáde by the 1875. Lẹ́yìn ìpàdé, àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ náà panupọ̀. That is, after that conference, they agreed that 1, we should be, we should be putting diacritic, as in terms of tail, on on A, O, and C to become O, and she. Alright? And these had been suggested by Adolphus Mann, okay, in 1856, before 1875. This is for the writers to have uniformity. Okay? 2, kí a máa kọ GB dípò BH tàbí B. This means that before that conference, they want to write ba, that is GB. They'll be writing BH or just write B. So this conference said, if you want to write the sound ba, as in B, so we should be writing GB together. 3. Kí a máa kọ P dípò KP. The pronunciation is KP, but the alphabet should be written P. Kí a máa kọ UN dípò ON. Nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ èdè àdúgbò kan, that is in some dialects, so that we'll be able to differentiate between them, because there are misconceptions, a kind of misconception anyway. When you pronounce lost, you call it àdánù in some dialects in Yoruba instead of àdánù. So this conference said is using UN for words like àdánù, not ON. Okay, other words are miser, meaning àwọn. Some dialect we call it àwọn, which means they in another grammatical setting. Another word is àdémú, that is calabash, small calabash. Some dialect we call it àdémọ. You get it? So this conference said we should be using UN instead of ON in such words. Number 5, kí a máa fi àmì ohùn tí ó bá yẹ sí orí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní spelling kan. There are some words that have the same spelling but different meanings. Right? Therefore, we should tone mark them, put tone on them to differentiate them. If you want to say plaster, Yoruba name for plaster is re, R-E. If you want to say is, as in his house, you say ilé rẹ̀, C-R-E. If you want to say soak, to soak your clothes or soak something in water, as pé re. All of them are R-E-R-E. So we have to put tone marks on them to differentiate their meaning. So plaster will be re, is will be re, and soak will be re. So if you have re, giving you different meanings but the same spelling. Next, kí a máa fi àmì sí orí sílébù àkọ́kọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́pọ̀ sílébù tó ní àmì kan náà. There are some words with multiple syllables, and coincidentally they now have the same tone marks in all the syllables. So this conference said, rather than wasting our tones, since they have the same tone marks, we should be tone marking the first syllable and leaving the other syllables like that. You have the word scrambling, meaning gudu gudu, gudu gudu. So the tone mark on them is do 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 do. Because since they have the same tone mark, you just tone mark the first syllable, which is go, and leave the rest. When you see it, you know that all the syllables have the same tone mark. Next, kí a máa lo consonant méjì nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀. So 2 consonants are allowed to some words, like under, which is abẹ́, double B, rock, àpáta, double P, double T, father, bàbá, double B in the middle. This conference allowed that, but it will change in another conference. Now we have another outcome of that conference that says that we should be writing the word that has N at the beginning. If you want to use that word as a subject, and that if you want to use that same word as an adjective, just remove the initial N and write only one, W-O-N. Okay, one as a subject, then one as an adjective. So ilé wọn, you use the one without N. Wọ́n lọ, you use the one with N. Next is kí a máa lo ìlànà èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì láti kọ ọ̀rọ̀ orúkọ ènìyàn ti inú Bíbélì. There are some biblical words we should use English mode of writing to write them. So when you see Esther, it is translated to be Esiteri. You see John, translated to be Johanu. Jacob is translated to Jacobu. Next is kí a máa kọ alphabet Yorùbá báyìí. Yorùbá alphabets should be written. All the vowels remain the same, but the consonant will carry I. So B will be BI, D will be DI, F will be FI, G will be GI, and the rest of them. This conference of 1875 suggested that, though that has changed after that time. Lastly, a gbọ́dọ̀ máa kọ ọ̀rọ̀ tí a ṣẹ̀dá láti ara ọ̀rọ̀ atọ́kùn papọ̀. There are some words that are formed with the use of preposition and a noun. We should be writing them together. You have li oke, that is up, should be written loke. Li ẹ̀yìn, that is after, should be written lẹ́yìn. Words should be written together. That is that about the outcome of 1875 conference. Another conference came in 1974, still on orthography. That was organized by Joint Consultative Committee on Education, Federal Ministry of Education. Okay, now their own outcome was divided into 5 subheadings. The first is on spelling of vowel, spelling of vowel. Under that, we are expected to remove the I in some words because the I is redundant. Words like aya, chest, should be without I. Aye, remove the I. Eye, that is bird, remove the I. It should be EYA, eye. Another word which is oun, that is third person singular pronoun, he or she, should be written OUN rather than ON. Before 1974, oun is written as ON, and we're asked to write them OUN. Okay. The third, under vowel spelling, we should put N into the vowel that is standing at the third person singular pronoun. That is, nasality should be indicated in the third person singular pronoun. We have word like fun, give him. That should carry N, but before this conference is only the vowel without N. Mo, back him. The should carry N. No, beat him. The should carry N. But before 1974, those pronouns will not carry N, and this conference is saying we should add N. Next, under vowel spelling, kí a máa fa ìlà sí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àfàgùn. There are some words that are elongated. We are asked to hyphenate them. We have words like ọ̀fọ̀n, meaning thief, is a long word, put hyphen in between. Tínrín, that is narrowly, put hyphen in between them. Gan, that is verily, put hyphen in between them because there are one word words. Now, ọkùnrin, that is male, you should put N after the K. But before now, it is written OKORIN, ọkùnrin. And this conference said we should be written OKUNRIN, ọkùnrin. Likewise, obìnrin, before 1974, it is written OBIRIN. And this conference said it should be written as OBINRIN, obìnrin. That's the right spelling. Next, ìròyìn kí a máa pàṣídìí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí that the diacritic mark indicating open vowel should be vertical bar. Okay, in the letters like O to become O, A to become E, C to become she, we have to put diacritic mark under them. Next is spelling of consonants. We are to remove consonant N from the following words. Wọ́n, that is they. Ẹ̀yin, you. Yín, your or yours. Do you get? So the initial N of those words should be removed because they are not doing any work. They are redundant. Next, under consonants, stubborn consonants should be discontinued. Okay, don't write two consonants in Yoruba, it is not allowed. Ọ̀tà, single T. Òṣogbo, remove the H, put the diacritic on the S to become she. Ido, no double D, remove one D, and so on. Now the next is tone or tone marking. The use of elongated vowel has a sign in those days. That sign should not be used again. Rather, we should write all the vowels that are in those words. We have words like smell. It is written O. Before that conference, they just put a sign on that O, indicating that this is double. But this conference said, remove the sign, write the two O. Drug, Ogun, double O, remove the sign. Eat, Oru, write your double O. Ogun, sweat, write double O at the beginning. So rather than using elongated, symbol, write the O vowel sound. Vowel mẹ́ta gbọ́dọ̀ wà láàrin àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí. Vowel mẹ́ta ló gbọ́dọ̀ wà ńbẹ̀. That is words that are formed with combination of prefix and a noun having initial double vowel should have 3 vowels like this. There are some words that are formed from the use of prefix, right, and a noun that is having double vowel in them. So we have words like bo, o. When you want to connect them together, become bo. Triple O will not be in between because O has double O originally. Oni, anu, right, become alanu. That's triple A in between. That is after L because anu originally has double A. Now, lastly, there is need for every writer to employ tone marks in a way that will facilitate comprehension. So all writers must employ the use of tone marks in their work. Next is ọ̀rọ̀ word division. Now, vowel lengthening between words should not be indicated except in poetry. Vowel lengthening, between words should not be indicated except in poetry. That is only in poetry that we see something like ọmọ or me, that is my child. But grammatically, it's just ọmọ, me, my child. But when you are chanting, you are allowed to drag and say ọmọ mi, ilé mi, iṣẹ́ mi, right? But grammatically, it should be written separately. Kí a máa ṣe lo àmì ìpàjẹ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀. That elision should not be indicated for fixed verbs. There are some words that are fixed verbs that you cannot split them. Therefore, you should not indicate that a vowel is deleted there. We have words like tọ́jú, to keep. No, it is agreed it's come from tọ́jú. It's not like that. It is tọ́jú. You cannot split them. Therefore, there is no vowel that is deleted there. Rántí is a fixed verb. It's not a split verb. You cannot say rán etí. When you say rán etí, you are saying another thing, which means to sew your ear. To get. So it's a fixed verb on its own. Therefore, you should not put any sign indicating that one vowel is missing. As I remember. Then next is expect. Retí, to expect. It is not re-eti. If you say re-eti, means to pick dirty things from your hair drum. But we are saying expect here. So it's a fixed verb on its own. Don't put any sign indicating a missing vowel. Next is that verbal particle E should be written as an independent item. In some words, vowel E should stand alone. Words like kìíké, he does not cry. E has to stand alone. Kò ní wá, he will not come. E is supposed to stand alone after name. Next is the following words should be written as a single word. Some words are not supposed to be written as two words. For example, níbo, ní láti, ìbá, These are words that should be written together. Next is that the following words should be written separately and not as single words. We have many examples under this and we should take note of them. We have tani, that is who, nígbà gbogbo, every time, nítorí tí, because, kíni, what, nígbà tí, when, èwo ni, which, lẹ́yìn náà, thereafter, ẹni tí, person that, níwọ̀n ìgbà tí. So these are words that you should separate. Níwọ̀n, ìgbà, tí. 3 words there. Nítorí náà, because. Nítorí náà, 2 words. Jẹ́ kí, wí pé. Nígbà náà, bí ó tilẹ̀. Jẹ́ pé. About 5 words that some people are writing together that we have to separate them. Bí ó tilẹ̀. Jẹ́ pé. Ń lọ, ń bọ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí, èyí tí. These are words that you are expected to write separately and not together. Lastly, we are supposed to hyphenating some words that are long. Now that are formed with combination of words should be hyphenated. You have àdáná ìjà. So you hyphenate it as àdáná ìjà. Put hyphen in between. Ògbórí ẹ̀gùn, ògbórí ẹ̀gùn. So you hyphenate them in that way.